Small town vibe, slow down drive, hike, bike, kayak, skate, or walk. Look, listen, and hear the trees who talk. Or the people just hanging around and improvising songs. From Missing a Girl blues to a koosh ball ode, some of the students were out of this world and others were gentle souls. But now so many homeless and druggy black holes. I know, you can never return home. And this little town is not alone, but we digress. So time to digest. Take in the spots with still some shine. Memories waft in misty air in this nostalgic rhyme. Then the scent of a roasting rise, Los Bagels and its world beat ties. Murals still there, tasty treats on tongue. Then to tin can mailman, comfy used book fun. Someone needs to make a Proustian scented candle of the aroma combined from every shelf. Such diverse lives traveled within set type, connecting to every growing self. Bought an old leather English reader there, published way back in 1825. Daughter used to sleep with it under her pillow. Verse and prose from her hand now thrive. She's wanting to teach and spread the freedom of writing to younger generations. To see her pursuing my favorite bookstore was a pure moment of cross-pollination. The Arcata Minor Theater, festivals of animation with the snowman and the man who planted trees, Stop Making Sense, Wings of Desire, Crimes and Misdemeanors, Rocky Horror and Kurosawa's Dreamers, gaining knowledge, wonder, and passion, though Miss Chalet did not care for the fashion. I eventually saw through the neo-hippie look. Brent's TV, silly neo-punk outfit, had a different retro look. Was a light tonic in a heavy world of blood, oil, and religion, don't get me started, along with the heaviness of the ungrateful dead only appearing alive on the outside until you opened the cover and saw what was read. But this band zipped by song after song, some tracks less than 60 seconds long, about local spots like Manila and Trinidad and falling in love at the co-op, lower left frame. The bonus track about the mentioned Santana show recorded at the I Street House, kinda still the same. There's laundromat and train at like 250 BPM. The hiccup, and what do you get? This DIY tape was insane. Handwritten label in ink on the cassette. Plus I dug their snobbery jib of all my friends are turning Parisian. I kept some hippie ideals, but my skate punk teendom was balanced back in equation, and the forest was my main medicine. The healing through humor went a long ways too. And although I fell in love at Domino's Pizza, a long-distance relationship, we did make it through. Hundreds of miles apart. We even got married at Lumberjack Days, though not for reals. It had some real heart. Heading to the record store in a Stone Roses haze, spent $2 for the 7-inch single on a blue platter, bought along with Jellyfish debut a wonkified Mad Hatter. Brent's Lumberjack Days was on Lookout Records, which is where Green Day signed a few years later. Then there was Rabbit Choir, who preached to the earthy choir. They played footsie and psychedelia, but also punk, reggae, and folk. Full of love, learning, and crossfire, even the Crawdad song, live at Sierra Higher. Then there was the Humboldt Calypso Steel Band, who opened my heart, mind, and white boy moves. I was zappified into a happy collegian dancing fool, burning off pub fare food and a red nectar pint or two. It's been a surreal visit back up Arcata Way, like sauntering into a musty painting, but mustn't stay. Took me till 2019 when my personal check said LA instead of 7th Street Jacoby storefront house display. This town is where I first became aware of serendipity that unfolded on this day eventually. But first, Cafe Mocha, a sanctuary of sorts, hot drinks, hot tubs, under redwood outdoors, international music, international newspapers, quirky yet cozy, rustic, warm decor. Good friend's daughter happened to be inside. We visited her earlier before, but it was her first time. Then dinner time at shabby industrial upscale joint. Springtime Colitas aromatherapy lazy fare after gastric ecstasy perfectly on point. Headed to the pie place and guess who's there? Right next to us I hear, Paul, me still unaware. A very close friend during my last year there. The Calypso Band shows we always shared. Reunited friendship glows as if no time was spared. She gave me a band t-shirt and a few recent CDs. After we hung out, we're making new memories. Time to explore a little bit more to the natural haunts of years before. As I compose this, North Coast auroras are doing their night rainbow dance. Humboldt fog in LA, so 0% chance. Slicing that cheese instead with vino before bed. Recalling more stories from these golden days then. Assimilating them into my present phase. 'Twas 9 years old, stopped for a photo op. Golden bears on the freeway. The 101 over waters of the Klamath. Possibilities coalesced. I would live here, or maybe Mammoth. Looked around with my hand in the bear's mouth. Someday knowing I move up here far from the south. I needed to head upriver away from the city trappings. But later learned those traps weren't just external. But the external did help along with my eternal and internal. The quiet shore of the riverbanks lapping kept a piece of driftwood from that day in 1974 till I moved to Humboldt, where I learned a lot less is a lot more. But there's one more story to tell. Took about 20 kids backpacking beyond the concrete they were lacking. Hand in hand was our volunteer organization. I prejudged the indigenous ones, thought they would know more of their outdoor education. Prairie Creek and Sumac, aka Patrick's Point, were my go-to places for hiking meditation. Got a late start, stubborn child falls apart, dumps out all his gear, and says he quits. We're only halfway from where we departed. I reminded him of my excellent pasta at the trail's end. I gradually began to upswing the downhearted, but just right then it started to rain. It was getting dark, stopping again. My coworkers suggested a nearby clearing to camp. Like Harrison Ford, I had a bad feeling about this particular spot. Everyone's backpack was getting a bit damp. I said, let's finish the trail, and bang! Our farm was almost bought. A redwood branch as big as a 20-foot tree broke off and landed exactly where we were to be. We finally made it around the last bend, ready to cook dinner, but on someone we didn't depend. No one brought the sauce or canned tomatoes, so we had spaghetti with dried basil, mustard, and sliced some of our hot dogs, unique dish on the table. Slept at peace and awoke to the sight of an elk herd mystically strolling through the fog. Next school to check out was Sonoma State University, where the weather has a bit more diversity. But a kitschy stop was in order first. Sasquatch sighting for the very last verse. Ahead, an intersecting Venn diagram of several circles, spirals, and crosses. Expand, contract, death, life, diaphragm, integrating experiences, gains, and losses. If Peart gave me poetry, then Mr. London took me to a place inside myself that I didn't even know existed, but instantly recognized. City life resisted, like I had been heading there my whole lost life. Bubbling under radar, it persisted. There was Buck, big, great, civilized mutt from the Southland, slapped down in the frigid north to redefine himself, bringing forth what he truly was, whether dog or man. I was Buck, Buck was I, Buck is us. Then responsibilities, jobs, adulting, and heading back south, resulting in transformation into White Fang. Wild to tame, tame to wild, either or, fuel on fire, snow on pause. Who am I? Who I was. See both sides. Once in a while, wholly divides. Instincts awaken, thriving simplicity. Sight and scent, remarkably keen. But there's companionship and domesticity. Gotta get out to get in well-being. So if you're gonna get made, don't be afraid of what you've learned. Thicker skin but bigger soul. Everyday spring through winter spur. Decisionness falls, wilderness calls. Summer within but protecting fur. In the shade of an oak, down by the river, heat is cooled, gratitude delivered. Same old song, right and wrong. Sense to belong, helping others along. Extra, then share. Treat common as rare. Self-care, aware, the truth, and the dare. There are times to bathe in crowded sound, and times to be completely alone. Whether northern or southern bound, may latitudinal attitude be shown. Imperturbably squared and rooted, from the natural and techie computed, together available when open and fluid. Speaking of fluids, a thematic drink's coming right after this reflective rhyme. In the next Travels with Smokie, a wee bit more of Jack you will find. And that was a semi-original poem with homages via Jack London, Northern Exposure, and two more, Blitzen Trapper and Willie Nelson, integrated and underscored by visuals and music, analogous electric and acoustic, bringing blurred into the lucid. 1, 2, 3, hit it, boys. Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. All right, welcome to Humboldt, but way down here, Southern California way. But hey, we have our Humboldt distilled spice rum, a little bit of Southern California Malibu original, white rum with coconut. We have passion fruit syrup, a little cherry bitters, of course a Humboldt pint glass, Humboldt State University, I know, it's Cal Poly. And a Hay Wands one in case anybody wants some. I don't think they exist anymore. But anyway, got our measuring. We have our banana. This is our banana slug right here. This is the banana slug chug, also known as Daiquiritaville. Some limes as well. Okay, let's get started. I'd say 3/4 of an ounce of this Humboldt rum. Oh, it's just going to be 1 ounce. Close enough. Okay. Where's our shaker? Where is it? I got to go find it. All right. I smashed the banana with the fork like I'm making banana pancakes. I poured my Humboldt rum, 1 ounce. I'm going to do 1 ounce of Malibu rum with coconut. Do that. I already got a cup of ice in our shaker. I had to find it. Poured that backwards, doesn't matter, it all goes to the same place. So that's 2 ounces of rum. Hope that's enough. I'm trying to remember exactly how I did this. I'm gonna go with 3/4 ounce, 3/4 of an ounce of passion fruit syrup. Maybe just a half, I don't know. I'm gonna try a 1/2 ounce and see if that's sweet enough. I don't like the daiquiri too sweet, but I am adding lime, an ounce of lime. I'm gonna do a splash of bitter at the end. Okay, so freshly squeezed. Hopefully these limes have some juice. Oh, this is gonna be wow. All right, so I put everything in this little shaker, but it's gonna work better blended. All right, pour it in there. I did 3/4 of an ounce of lime. That's all I could get out of there. I'm gonna add a little of this vanilla coconut milk. Just give it a little more tropical kind of vibe. That was like maybe a 1/2 ounce. Okay, and here we go. And you gotta put it on the right way. And lock it. And smoothie. All right, I think that's good. Let's see. Should be all right. All right, I don't think it's gonna quite fill this glass. I had it in a slightly smaller one when I made it last time, but that's okay. Oh, hey. Ooh. I could garnish it with a little lime like the picture you saw, but that's all the limes. Let's see if it's balanced. Not too sweet, not too sour. Just right to chug-a-lug, the banana slug. Don't get an ice cream headache. Oh, that is so good. And we had Cajun food tonight. This is the perfect ending of that wonderful flavor. Bam!